Well, good morning, gentlemen. It's been quite a while since I posted a video. Let me explain why. Right after I lit my cigar. Today I'm smoking a Kentucky Fire Cured. They run two lines in the Kentucky Fire Cured by Drew Estate. The first one is just the genuine Kentucky Fire Cured. The second one is the Kentucky Fire Cured Sweets. I actually prefer the Sweets. It's the only, well, one of two sweet cap cigars that I will actually smoke. But this is a great one. It's been a little while since I posted a video. I have been out sick. I got sick as a dog about a week and a half ago. Haven't had a cigar since then because any of you cigar smokers out there know that when you have a cigar, it's relatively, you don't want to smoke cigars when you're sick. That brings me to the conversation I wanted to have today. And that is, what is the difference between cigars and cigarettes? A lot of people think that cigars and cigarettes are one and the same, but they're not. When you buy a pack of cigarettes from the store, which are getting ridiculously expensive, the ridiculous price of what, $5, $6, $7 a pack right now in our area, you get a series of very small wrapped tobacco that's wrapped in a paper and then has a filter added to it. It's very little tobacco in a cigarette. They then add a lot of chemicals and preservatives, maybe that make them smoke longer. Someone said something about horse glue. You know, makes it not burn so quickly or enhances the taste. But one of the biggest things about cigarettes is that it's known that they add chemicals that make it addictive, make you hooked on it, things that you have to have it. And it's the complete opposite with a cigar. You see, in this cigar, this is a Kentucky Fire Cured by Drew Estate. There is 100% tobacco, binded with 100% tobacco, and then wrapped in 100% tobacco. This is nothing but tobacco right here. You have your filler. You have three parts to a cigar. You have the filler, which is just kind of chopped up tobacco, things that really don't look pretty. The leaves that don't look the best, they kind of chop up and put as the filler. That's usually one type of leaf. And then you have your binder, which holds all the filler together since it's little loose pieces. You have your binder, and those are kind of ugly leaves, but they kind of are longer, so they bind it together. And then you have your wrapper leaf. And your wrapper leaf is this part on the outside. That's your wrapper leaf. It looks the best. It makes it look presentable, desirable, things like that. Holds everything together, makes it look really correct. And then there's a cap on it that's made out of tobacco. And between all of that, everything in here, with most cigars, is going to be 100% tobacco. A lot of people think that cigars are addictive because a lot of people assume that tobacco is the addictive property. I don't know how much scientific research has gone into it, but from my understanding, 100% tobacco is non-addictive. I have a very addictive personality myself. That's why I stay away from alcohol. That's why I've always stayed away from drugs. And I've stayed away from cigarettes. But tobacco is one of those things where, like I said in the beginning of the video, I wasn't feeling well for the past week and a half, and I just didn't want to smoke cigars or my tobacco pipe. I had no connection with it. You know, I didn't get jittery. I wasn't craving it. Sometimes I miss the experience of smoking a cigar or a tobacco pipe, the packing the pipe or the toasting of the cigar or cutting the tip off or whatever you like. It's very ceremonial and I enjoy that. But I did not feel the need to. And that's one of the biggest differences. That's a very big draw to people who want to get into cigars. Basically, the only similarity that I ever tell people is that there's tobacco. There's tobacco in cigarettes, there's tobacco in cigars. Other than that, that's about the only thing similar. I want to make it clear that cigars are not cigarettes. Unlike cigarettes, where you tend to smoke the same type of cigarette your entire life, you'll smoke the same Newports or the same Camels or whatever, and you just get a taste for them and you'll just smoke them, and that's all you smoke and you can't smoke anything else. With cigars, you'll find out that your tastes change. You see, there's a ton of flavor in this thing. This one is fire-cured tobacco. It is way different than most other cigars. You see, with cigarettes, you light it up, in a couple minutes, it's done. No satisfaction at all other than it just calming your nerves until you get another fix. With cigars, it's a very slow process. You light it up. It'll take me an hour to smoke this cigar. Sometimes over an hour. If I'm in really quick hurry, I might be freight training this thing and have it done in 45 minutes. But most of the time it's going to take an hour, hour and 15 minutes for a normal cigar for me to smoke. Another big difference with cigars and cigarettes is the fact that when you have cigarettes, you're inhaling the smoke. It's going into your lungs and then it's coming out of your lungs. Complete opposite with cigars or tobacco pipes. You breathe the smoke into your mouth, mixing with your palate and then out your mouth or out your nose, whichever way you decide to. That's called a retrohaling, is when you go in your mouth, out your nose. It does not get into your lungs, or at least you shouldn't be breathing it into your lungs. You should not be inhaling it. If you do, you'll find out why it's a big mistake. The smoke from these things is super thick. You will be coughing and hacking, your eyes will turn red, you'll start crying, your nose will run. It's a mess if you start inhaling these things. Now, if you're interested in learning more about cigars or tobacco pipes or any sort of smoking tobacco in particular, there's a lot of resources out here. My channel has a few videos out about cigars or pipes, or why I smoke them, things like that. I might link a couple up in the corner here or at the end of the video. What I want to know from you guys is, what is your all-time favorite cigar, the best cigar you've ever smoked? My best cigar I've ever smoked, honestly, it might shock some of you. The best cigar I've ever smoked is one by Drew Estate from the Deadwood line, and it is the Leather Rose. And let me explain to you, if you've never tried that cigar, why it might shock some of you. It is a very strong cigar, which I'm usually not a fan of, and it has a sweet cap on it, which normally I'm not a fan of. But the leather notes that come through this cigar, it just takes me to a place where I feel like a cowboy. I don't know how to explain it. When I light up one of those and I start puffing on it, yes, you have the sweet cap, but the sweet cap mixed with the strength of the cigar, it just makes the whole experience better. If you haven't tried, that is the only one that I like. That and the Sweet Janes. Those are the only two sweet cap cigars, or only two cigars that I like from the whole Deadwood line of cigars. And I'm looking to buy a box of the Leather Rose, but I can't find one at a decent deal. But because they are a little bit more pricier than I care to spend on a cigar. So moral of the story, cigars and cigarettes are not the same. they are completely different, like two separate worlds. If you guys smoke cigars, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite cigar is. You know, a cigar that you just go back to time and time again, that you just love to smoke. I know every cigar smoker has that particular cigar. This is mine. This is a cheap cigar, but it is my favorite. And I will talk to you guys in another video. I appreciate you hanging around, and we will see you later. Good evening, gentlemen.